When we think about suicide, we probably don't think it's something that's addressed in the Bible. But did you know there's actually several attempted and completed suicides in the Bible? Professor Kuruvilla George from the Center of Theology and Psychology tells us about them and shows us where they are.
Suicides in the Bible, Bible doesn't say suicide is sin or not, but Bible does mention examples of suicide.
Yeah, okay.
And let me give you those
Yeah.
examples. I'm not going to explain all of them. It's going to take time. I'll just give you the Bible verses so you can read it for yourselves.
Yep.
So there are 7 instances of suicides in the Bible.
Okay. Yep.
Right? 6 of them are in the Old Testament. There's only 1 in the New Testament.
Okay.
And I'm sure most of us will know the New Testament ones.
Yep.
But many of us won't know the Old Testament. So let me tell you what they are. First of all is King Abimelech. And that's in Judges chapter 9, verse 50 to 54, if you want to read. Judges 9, 50 to 54. Second example is Samson in Judges chapter 16, verses 29 and 30. Third is King Saul in 1 Samuel chapter 31, verse 3 and 4. The fourth example is King Saul's armor bearer in 1 Samuel chapter 31, verse 5. The fifth example is Ahithophel in 2 Samuel chapter 17, verse 23. And the sixth example in the Old Testament was King Zimri. It's interesting, so many of them are kings.
Yeah.
King Zimri in 1 Kings chapter 16, verse 18. And the one in the New Testament, which I'm sure most of us will know, is Judas. And the example of Judas we read in Matthew chapter 27, verse 4 and 5. But apart from these 7 completed suicides, there are 9 mentions in the Bible of contemplated suicide, people who contemplated suicides.
Yeah.
And the examples are, firstly, Rebecca, Genesis chapter 27, verse 46. Secondly, Rachel in Genesis chapter 30, verse 1. Thirdly, Moses in Numbers chapter 11, verses 14 and 15. Number 4, Elijah in 1 Kings 19, verse 4. Fifthly, Job in Job chapter 3, verses 11 to 16. Sixth, Jeremiah in Jeremiah chapter 20, verse 18. 7, Jonah in Jonah chapter 4, verse 8. And the 2 in the New Testament are the Philippian jailer in Acts chapter 16, verses 27 and 28. And finally, Saul in 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 8. So these are examples that are there in the Bible.
And I guess one of the things is that even if the Bible doesn't explicitly say whether or not suicide is a sin, the fact that it is recorded there, I guess, can give some people who might have contemplated suicide or are contemplating it to know that they're not the only ones who have been through this. Like, there's people in the Bible have felt this before, kind of thing. If you're searching for more resources on suicide and suicide awareness, you can head to anxiousfaith.org/suicide or check the link in the description. And if these videos have brought up anything that is difficult for you or someone you know's mental health, please, we strongly encourage you to reach out for help. Here at Anxious Faith, we're all about tackling the big questions of faith and mental health. We'd love for you to join our community on socials and continue these conversations.